Hi students, you are welcome in Literature Simply. Simple way to learn literature and language. Dear students, we are resuming the series of History of English Literature, and this is the next part in this series, Hash 29 History of English Literature. Dear students, History of English Literature is very significant because the questions are asked in many exams like TGT, PGT, NET, then you have SET or any other competitive exam. If you find this history is very important. Once you complete your history, then your exam will be smooth, so that it is important to understand the history. And this is hash 29 History of English Literature. We were talking about 18th century literature, and in 18th century literature we have covered so many authors or writers from the same period. Now we are covering the next authors in this period. Dear students, in the previous History of English Literature, that is video hash 28, we talked about Edmund Burke, a philosopher and essayist. Now in this video we are going to talk about Edward Gibbon, another historian or writer. First we will talk about the life, then we will talk about his career or important works, and his place in the history of English literature at last. So let's start with Edward Gibbon. Here hash 29 History of English Literature, 18th century literature, and the writer here we have Edward Gibbon, 1737 to 1794. First let's talk about his life. Dear students, Edward Gibbon was born at Lime Grove, Putney, Surrey in England in 1737. He was sent to Woodson's College at Kingston, and then he sent to Westminster School. Dear students, if you look at the life of Edward Gibbon, you will find that he was sent at school at the age of 9. First, he sent to Woodson School and then Westminster School, and there he learned many things. Basically, he became a voracious reader when he entered in these schools. Then, dear students, he went to a college in Oxford, but he could not remain for more time there in that college. In his childhood, he suffered from illness, and often he became ill in his childhood, and the same feelings inherited for longer time later in his life. He was not a normal child in his childhood, but he became many times ill, and he suffered from some diseases, and the impact of those diseases, those illness, uh, remained on his mind for a longer time. Then he died in 1794 in London. And dear students, Edward Gibbon basically was a historian. He wrote a very fine history. He also wrote some letters. He also wrote some treatises, but he was known as a historian. And he also was a member of parliament, which was his achievement because he belonged to a good family, or he belonged to a wealthy family, well settled family, and so that he could gain the position there in the Parliament of England. So he became member of parliament. Now dear students, let's talk about his important works. Actually he composed many works, but here we will talk about only important works of Edward Gibbon. So here very first we have Essai sur étude de la littérature, published in 1761. Then we have Critical Observations on the sixth book of Virgil's The Aeneid, 1717. Now this is very important because here he provides some comment on Virgil's great epic, and he gives his opinions in that great epic, and hence he calls it as critical observation. So these observations later became very important for the scholars coming, and this work is basically studied in translation because we have very important observations regarding this great epic. Then we have the history of the decline and fall of the Roman Empire. It was written in 6 volumes during 1776 and 1788. Now this is the masterpiece of Edward Gibbon. Basically, as we saw that Edward Gibbon is a historian, and hence this work, the history of decline and fall of the Roman Empire, becomes very important, and this is the work which is studied still today. The scholars from literature and the scholars from the genre of history, they look at this work, which is very important in both the disciplines, in history and literature, by Edward Gibbon. And this has been written in a very lucid language, in a very imposed style, and so that it becomes important for the students of literature. And he combined many things in this history. He basically he talked about that history, that he wanted to write a history on the city of Rome, but he extended this history to the entire Roman empire, and he started right from the Trajan emperor of Anno Domini 98, and he extended this history till 15th century. And we find that a very combined style, very combined writing in his history. He not only talks about the politics, but he also talks about religion, philosophy, the atmosphere in those days or in that period. He also talks about different kinds of things happened in the society, or whatever influences there on the empire of Rome. He talks about all those things, and hence his history is admired till today. So this is a masterpiece of Edward Gibbon. You need to remember this masterpiece, and this is published during 1776 to 1788. So this span is also important, 12 years span. Next we have important work, memoirs, and he also wrote many letters. Now what you find in memoirs, actually memoirs are autobiographical pieces written by Edward Gibbon, and in that memoirs we find his life, how he lived his life, and how he became famous after writing these works in literature or in history. There is one incident happened in the life of Edward Gibbon, that he fell in love of a beautiful woman, but it was opposed by both families, the family of Edward Gibbon and that beautiful lady, and he had to leave that lady. And once he asked, why did you leave that lady, he replied, or we find a statement in his memoir. He said that I sighed for my love and I obeyed as a son. So this has become very important later in his life, and we find his personality through this statement. He sighed for his love, but he obeyed as a son. This was the statement. So these are the important works of Edward Gibbon. Now what is the place of Edward Gibbon in the whole history of English literature? How Edward Gibbon is important? Only one thing you need to remember, that Edward Gibbon was a historian, and we have very fine history by Edward Gibbon, that is the decline and fall of the Roman Empire. You should remember this. And next, his work memoirs also is very important, and later we find that he wrote many letters, and these letters now are edited by many scholars. If you go to Google and search, you will find these letters are edited by many scholars. You can read those letters, or you can read the comments on those letters or critical observations on those letters by other by scholars. But dear students, here this history is important. Why Edward Gibbon is remembered today? Only because of this history. Now let's see his place in the whole history of English literature. Here we have a remark by William J. Long. I quote, "The style of the work is as imposing as his great subject. Indeed, with almost any other subject, the sonorous roll of his majestic sentences would be out of place, while it deserves all the adjectives that have been applied to it by enthusiastic admirers: finished, elegant, splendid, rounded, massive, sonorous, copious, elaborate, ornate, exhaustive." I unquote. Now, if you look at this statement made by William J. Long, you will understand how important Edward Gibbon is in history of English literature. Why he is important? The very first thing, he wrote a very beautiful history in a imposing style. So the style found in that history is imposing. So you read and read and read. You also find long sentences in that history, and it reminds you the great English writing. Again, we find there are many admirers, many scholars who admire Edward Gibbon for writing such elegant, ornate, exhaustive. We find this kind of adjectives are used for Edward Gibbon and hence he becomes important. So this statement leads to the place of Edward Gibbon in the whole history of English literature. So he is important in history of English literature. So you should remember Edward Gibbon as a historian with his history. So that is the case regarding Edward Gibbon. So dear students, this is all about Edward Gibbon. If you want more about Edward Gibbon, you can comment below in the comment section. I will provide you the complete list of Edward Gibbon's works. But I don't think that all works are important except this history and memoirs and a few letters. So you should always remember this history when you think of Edward Gibbon. So dear students, this is all about Edward Gibbon. I hope you understood the Edward Gibbon and his place in history of English literature. Thank you very much for watching the complete video. Please share this video, like this video and subscribe to Literature Simply. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you.